Hey guys, we're here with Dom with his Kashtira deck that he made day 2 with at the 3v3 for YCS Las Vegas. How was your record throughout the day?
I went X3 in Swiss.
And then what was your guys' team record?
We were X2-1. We had 2 losses and a tie.
Okay, let's go ahead and get started.
All right, so starting off with the typical 3 Fenrir, 3 Unicorn, 2 Rise Heart, Scareclaw Cash, and then into the hand traps, 2 Droll, 2 Mourner, 3 D-Shifter, 3 Nib, and 3 Ash. So going over these really quick. Obviously, Fenrir, Unicorn need to max these out. Rise Heart, I kept going back and forth on doing 2 to 3. I ended up bricking a lot with 3, so I decided to cut it down to 2. You're not usually using this later in the game. This is usually just an early push for making an XC's play or just getting a card out that you want for Birth to summon. Obviously, Scareclaw Cash, this is necessary. Sometimes this helps OTK. Sometimes this helps out ritual cards like Skull Guardian for Voiceless and just other Tower-esque cards like Chaos Angel. I really like Ogre. Ogre's one of my favorite cards, but I decided not to play it because there were times where I'd draw it and it's just a brick, and if it was some other card, it would help me win the game. Nib was one of the worst cards. I agree with what Colby said in his deck profile. This card, I had it twice. Both times my opponent played around it. One time they made it a negate, so it didn't do anything. And the other time they were playing Snake Eye, and they played around it, and it didn't matter. 3 Shifter, I only drew this in 2 games, and one of those games was Flu, so I don't know. I mean, obviously it's worth playing because when you see it, it's great, but I basically saw it once, essentially. 2 Mourner. It'd be nice to play this at 3, but I think 2 is fine. This actually helped me win against a Branded. I 2-0'd a Branded player. I drew this one game, and the other game I had Imperm and another hand trap, and it was enough. 2 Droll main deck. Again, it'd be nice to play 3, but 2 is good enough. I saw this. This helped me win several games. I won against Fire King with it. I won against a game against Voiceless with it because of this. Ash. Chris says people are cowards if they're afraid of Hida. I get where he's coming from. This card is so good. Like, I tried not playing it and I missed it every time I tried it. Like, I feel like you have to play this. There's certain choke points that people have that they just pass when you ash them. So those are the monsters.
Were there going to be, if obviously you said you didn't like Nibiru, what would you swap out for it?
That's tough. I thought about Super Poly, but that's a little tricky in this deck. But I think you could play Bell, or just play like a 3rd copy of Droll, 3rd copy of Mortar. I also tried Valor, and Valor is actually good when I play tested that. You know, you could think about maybe like playing a Synchro 8 as well in the extra. Moving on to the spells. We got a 1 of Called By, Terraforming, and Talents. I didn't have this in the list for a while just because like Shifter. Same thing with Droll, like they conflict with Shifter. But I realized that there's a lot of Kashtira hands that lose to 1 hand trap. If they have Droll or Ash, there's games that you just lose because of it. And I did Call By before in Ash. I think I only used it once though, the whole Swiss. But like it did save me. All I had was Planet. So this is worth playing. Terraforming, helps you get started. It's a 4th copy of Planet. And then Talents helped me draw 2 before. And helping steal, it's great. It's amazing. Going on to the 3 ofs, 3 Prosp, 3 Birth, 3 Theosis, 3 Planet, and then I'll just do the trap since we're here at the end. 3 Imperm. So
Pretty standard.
Nothing fancy here. Moving along to the extra deck. We got Heat Soul package, so double Link Spider, G Golem, Heat Soul. And this, I actually didn't make it a single time in, I attempted to make it in Swiss once and I got nibbed, so it didn't really work out. But yeah, Donner, the goal here, really like post side, it's really nice because you can draw into your side and then in main hand traps. You got Donner to clear your board, clear an opponent's card, SP, and then going into the XCs, Mecha Phantom Beast, Draco Sack, Dada, Red Eyes Metal Flare, Typhon, Shangira, number 11 Big Eye, Infinitrack, Zeus, and Baron. I had a Zeus line once, but they interrupted me, so this didn't come up. Typhon did come up. I used it to break a board. A lot of these didn't really come up, honestly. But most of the Kashtira cards are good enough on their own that you don't really need these for the most part. But they're nice to have as a toolbox for when you need them.
Okay.
And then lastly, we got 2 Dogwood for Time, which I sided in a few times, never saw it. 2 Bell. This was nice against Voiceless. There's a lot of cards that this hits, and just there's other decks too that this hits a lot of. It hits Fire King Snake Eye if they're unable to chain block, and hits Wanted Poster. It hits a lot of random stuff that a lot of people are playing. 3 Cosmic. This card is amazing. 2 Soul Release. This gave me a chance. I ended up losing one of my matches. I lost in time, and he only had 5 seconds to go battle phase. Like, I passed the turn and he had 45 seconds to combo to try to out me. I prosperitied into this, and this was crazy. Like, I banished a bunch of stuff, Promethean and a bunch of other stuff, and I had a winning shot there if I had played my cards a little differently. And then 3 Summon Limit, best Floodgate. 3 Strike. We talked about this before the event. My thinking, so I think this is Anti-Spell. Like, if you see Anti-Spell plus Summon Limit, it's like a God Hand. But my thinking was, like, if you see Summon Limit or Strike, they function pretty similar, because if you strike at the right time, you can just end their turn. And so they it's just like 6 copies of Limit in a way. It's not as good as Limit, but it's pretty much the next best thing. We thought about Judgment, but we went against that because a lot of times what happens with Judgment is you Judgment their board breaker, and most decks have a bunch of gas, and they end up just playing through, and then they kill you easier because you have 4,000 life points. So, yeah. So anyways, that's the deck profile.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yep.